Hello and welcome back to another video looking at more features added in patch 7.3. This is a huge quality of life change that I think is definitely worth making its own video for certain, and it's certainly something that isn't turned on by default that I think if you're a PC player you definitely should go and do that. First of all, then, in the settings menu, so if we go system and we go to system config, the three dots down the bottom, the first thing I would do is change the character and object quantity back up to maximum. If you had it at maximum prior to the patch, this is something they've implemented an automatic feature in. It kind of like scales depending on where you are. Obviously the impact on your frame rate will be, as it was before. Nothing has changed in that regard. They haven't increased the amount of characters you can have on screen. Maximum is still the maximum and minimum is still like the minimum, so players will be culled out to save frame rate. So definitely swap that over to maximum again if you want it how it was before. The one thing they have changed though and added is the character display range system, which defaults to normal mode. There are three modes: normal, extended and maximum. If we go into first person and turn the UI off, you'll see on normal mode, from atop this mesa in Meoni, you can just about see the furthest enemy. Let's just pan around a minute. The furthest enemy is probably this Soror ball, this cerulean bomb, right? There's probably one here that's just out of range as well. But kind of like this bush here where my mouse is drawing a line onto the road, that's the range that we can currently see. So if we have Fran, my girlfriend, come in and go next to that Soror ball, as you can see, she just popped into existence as a phoenix. Now, for whatever reason, if Fran goes back out again, you will see that characters seem to have a lower distance as she just popped out. If she comes back in again, it's very slowly. Characters seem to have a lower distance of viewing than enemy creatures, which is really interesting. So I don't know if that's a deliberate reason, or maybe that's because so that you can see like hunt ranks further away or something like that rather than players. But there is definitely more character culling going on than the enemy culling. Now, with that being said, there's Fran's character as a phoenix. There's a Soror bomb. If we back into system config and we change it from normal to extended mode and press apply, you will now notice that not only is that not the closest Soror bomb that we can see Soror bombs all the way out there to the south of the zone. We've got golems over there to that building. There's a guy on a mount flying all the way over there. We've got scorpion monsters even closer nearly to the tree line for the lake. We've got the worm monsters. So if Fran was to fly back directly whichever direction she wants, really, that way, that's perfectly fine. We'll see the clipping out of Fran in a second. There's a worm there, you see that, and she's still in view. They're gone. So if she comes back just slightly, there. So that's where the character limit seems to be. So that's a massive distance comparatively to the other mode, like here's your normal mode where all of the creatures have gone. There's your extended mode where everything's back. It's exceptional, and I love this. If you've got a powerful PC, why not make the most of it? I know that the quantity of characters and enemies displayed isn't being increased, which is a real shame, but this view system's awesome. So let's turn this all the way up to maximum now, and you will start to see it's kind of hard to see the difference. I'm trying to see if there's an enemy that's even further away, but quite honestly, my eyesight is not the greatest. I don't know if that golem was in view before. It might have been. But yeah, as you can see, you could basically see everything from up here. This is especially useful for hunt trains, so you could start seeing monsters further away and characters. If Fran was to now fly towards that town, which is right next to her, and in the distance, the Aetheryte, yeah, we'll start to see how close she can get to that with me still being able to see this little pixel of Fran's phoenix, which is, I'm glad that she chose the phoenix because it's easier to see on this backdrop there. So she's clipped out just there. So if she comes back a little bit there. So that's where Fran pops back into existence. That's like on the outskirts of the actual town. That is crazy. As day turns to night, of course it does. You can actually see it a bit better now anyway, but that's the maximum setting. But as you can see on extended mode, no. But on maximum mode, you can see so far ahead. That's incredible. Absolutely incredible. So the experience of flying around, you know, maybe looking for hunt marks, maybe looking for, you know, B ranks, S ranks, A ranks, maybe just exploring the zone. It does have an impact on it, frames per second, but if you've got a PC like I have, it's not really noticeable. So with hunt trains specifically then, just as an example, it makes a lot of sense for this to be like the main usage for this. I do think though they need to figure out a way of making it so that monsters take priority over other characters, because they still have the pop in. But it is nice to see people from further away. I mean, as these people fly off, as we go to our next target, as you can see, it looks absolutely epic now. Absolutely epic. Again, the frame rate might dip a little bit, but we can see players much further away than we physically could before. It just looks like things are more alive, doesn't it, than they were before. It's a positive change. A real positive change. It just means that you're going to have a better experience with pop-in as well, right? There's less visible, noticeable pop-in, much smoother experience. I suppose if you were to play through the game for the first time again, it would be like playing a whole new game with settings like this. But there's such small quality of life changes that make a big impact. Actually being able to see monsters all the way into the distance, you know, more times than I can mention, I've zoned into an area and then something's popped in. And then I've gone, oh, there are monsters here. That has happened in other expansions, like Shadowbringers, especially in the Tempest. I remember that happening quite a bit. But yeah, you can see all of these turtle crab things. I think they're crabs, aren't they? As far as the eye can see. Could it be better? Yes. Is it amazing that they finally added it? Yes. The next step would be to have us on PC, at the very least, increase the amount of characters visible on one screen. That would be really nice, because when you do the hunt marks, it can be kind of difficult to see the enemy when there's like only a few people being rendered in. If they could render in a couple hundred, I think then we'd be good. But yeah, I'm very happy with this. Definitely wanted to give a demonstration of what it looks like, and more things like this, more game changes that make big differences that are small things, because I think this is great. It's just going to change the game for me. It's like, oh, I can see monsters over there by the lake that I normally couldn't see. It's like putting on glasses for the first time. Suddenly you can see everything. Anyway, let me know what you think about this feature, if you have also set this to maximum, and I'll see you all next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.